Yo, what's up guys? Today in this video, I want to talk about some tips and tricks for Berserker that I guarantee will help you play better and smarter. These are tips I use personally and experience myself. So, without further ado, here are the 4 Berserker tips that can improve your gameplay. Tip number 1, push immunity skills. Now, push immunity is where you can't get knocked up, can't get knocked down, you can't get pushed back. So basically, it's the literal sense of super armor where, you're kind of an immovable wall, right? But you can still get CC'd. So like, you gotta watch out for stuns, freezes, and those kind of CCs, right? But you have a skill as a Berserker. In your Mayhem form, you have your Dark Rush. And if you're using Berserker's technique, I think the alternative is called Bloody Rush. And what this skill does, if you can see in the description, is a super armor push immunity. And so, if a boss lands a hit on you, you can kind of use Dark Rush to just keep on attacking. I stand in this AoE here, and I use my Dark Rush. As you can see, nothing happened to me, and I was still able to throw my Dark Rush skill. And now following onto this idea, we're going to go to tip number 2. We have our Chain Sword skill. Now Chain Sword is your counter skill, but it's much more than that. It's going to give you crit rate, I think a base of 15% for 3 seconds, and then 20% attack speed for 3 seconds. Now I really want to talk about this attack speed increase, okay? Now this attack speed will increase your animation as well as your casting speed as well. So I have my Hellblade here, which is, it's kind of long to, cast it, right? So, for example, I'm going to summon a monster here. And I'm going to use my Hellblade. And it's, it's pretty decent. But I'm going to use my Chainsword here. And you can see how fast my Hellblade gets, right? And you can also use it with like Strike Wave. So Strike Wave is another casting speed. We have here like that. It's pretty decent, right? And then we have Chainsword into this, and it casts much faster. And now why I wanted to tie it with tip number 2 is because if you use Chainsword into Dark Rush, it's really fast. So Dark Rush is about that speed. And then we're going to use Chainsword into Dark Rush, and it's much faster. And what's really nice with Chain Strike too is for the last couple of seconds right when it's about to expire, you can still charge up your skill and get the full maximum attack speed on it. You're not going to get the crit rate buff, but you're going to get the full 20% attack speed on it, even though the Chain Sword expires. So what I like to do is I go into Chain Sword, into my Strike Wave, into Dark Rush, and you're going to get the full 20% attack speed benefit, and it's going to be really fast. For example, just like that. And now the third tip I want to talk about is Shoulder Charge. Now Shoulder Charge has a tripod that gives a shield, and the shield is very good. And now this shield 15% is going to scale with your Mayhem. So with Mayhem, your max HP is going to be around 20% of your actual max HP, right? So if you use Shoulder Charge, you're going to only get around 3,000 more shield. And this is very handy in situations where you're about to die, you're very low HP. This shield can very much help you. There's also a second tripod where you can get the chain charge. I would not recommend doing this just because the cooldown goes to 10 seconds and there's not really a situation where you use it twice, but you can get this tripod if you like. And this is how it's going to work. So I'm going to use Shoulder Charge, and you have around 4 seconds to use the chain again, right? I'm gonna take off my cooldowns here. So we have this, you can kind of wait 2, 3, 4, and then you can use it again. If you don't use it again, it's just going to expire, right? It's gonna go back on cooldown. But every time you use Shoulder Charge, it's gonna renew the shield. So you're gonna get 3,000 shield here. If you get hit again, you do this and you're going to get back the 3,000 shield. It's going to be capped at 15% of your HP still. And now the 4th tip I want to share with you guys is that you can cancel Mayhem to increase your HP. I think this is the most well-known tip for Berserkers, but I just wanted to get it out there just in case you didn't know it. If your HP is low, you have like 1 HP or 100 HP, you can cancel your Mayhem by pressing X, and you're going to gain 25% HP back. So there, 25%. This is again very good in situations where you're about to die and you don't have any pots open, or your paladin or your support doesn't have any more heals. You can use that to gain more HP. And what's very, very cool about this is when you cancel your Mayhem, your shoulder charge is actually going to be 15% of your bigger pool of max HP. So for example, I'm going to cancel my Mayhem and then shoulder charge. And you can see how big my shield is now. It's about 13,000 shield, and I'm going to gain 25% HP. So your survivability is going to be very, very good. And so those are the 4 tips that I wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. But thanks again so much for watching, and until next time.